Yeah, buddy, how about it? Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
And this is week 15 now of the NFL Pick'em podcast broadcast. I cannot believe it. 15 weeks in a row we've been rolling. And man, I'm excited. It's a Charger game tonight, although it's a little bit sad because there is no Justin Herbert out for the season with a broken finner. No good, but nonetheless, it is the Chargers. It is a division game. It's versus the Raiders, and we'll see what happens. I'll be pulling for the Chargers, but I don't think I picked them. So either way, I should be in an okay mood by the end of the game. So that's hoping. But hey, we got Bully in there. We got my wife is in there. We got Wally in there. Hey, what's up? How are you guys? And we've got one other that hasn't been here in a while, but he is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ag Man himself, Sir Andrew. How are you, brother?
It's good to be back. I'm doing good. I've had a rough couple weeks, or at least a long couple weeks. There's just been a lot going on. But hey, I'm glad we got some time. I'm glad to be back on the show. Also, coming around the festive time of the year. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it is, dude. I tell you, where is Gil? Mike, I tell you, Bully's already in there asking about Gil. Send him a text, Bully. Get Gil in here. I tell you what, you guys need to fire up the comments. We've got a sweet trivia section coming up tonight.
Yes.
Courtesy of Andrew for the idea. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a really good one. But we need more people. We need more people because Andrew already knows all the answers since he sent it to me. So it is definitely going to be a crowd participation sort of a deal. And we need a crowd out there. So text everybody right now. Jump out of here and go text everybody. Tell them to get over to Duct Tape Dynasty and check it out. It should be a good show. But anyway, yeah, you've been busy for a couple weeks. Last time we had you on, was it the Thanksgiving?
It was the Thanksgiving triple header.
So holy cow. Yeah. And you just mentioned that it's, we're coming right up on the other holiday season now, Christmas time. So
yes.
Welcome back. It seems like forever since you've been on here, but it's good to have you back, dude. So, anyway, yeah, the kid was supposed to fly home tonight, but dude's got 103 temperature. And so he managed to.
And he's in a dorm room. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, he managed to get kicked out of a final today, and his friends took him to the ER or something, and at least he got checked out. So he should be hopefully on the mend. Mary had the bright idea to make sure that she bought him a ticket that was adjustable. And so I think we've adjusted it 4 times, and now he's not coming home tonight. He's recovering. He'll be coming home on Saturday. So bummed that he won't be here tonight, but I am happy that he's at least on the mend. On the mend.
Yes.
So, or should be. So anyway, what's been going on out there? Is it snowing out there? How's life? What's going on in ag world?
Surprisingly, it's not snowing out here. It's been in the mid to high 30s, low 40s, maybe even higher than that. It's been a little weird. It's December and it doesn't feel like it.
Dude.
Which makes me very nervous for January, February, March.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But I mean, I'll take it. It helps me out a lot. I've just been really busy, with school going on. There's been a bunch of FFA stuff for me since I'm the advisor at the school I'm at. There's just been a bunch of stuff going on. And, it's the weird time between breaks and everything is weird. So, there's only 4 more days until our Christmas break starts or our winter break. And, then it'll be a good recharge and reset, I think. But it's been a weird few days just because everyone's like, we want out of here. We want to go to vacation for 10 days. But yeah, no, it's been good. Otherwise, I can't really complain. And even if I could, it wouldn't do me that much. So
Yeah, well, same here. It's I'm ready for Christmas time. I'm ready for kids to come home. I'm ready for, we've had the house decorated for quite some time, and we tend to leave it up for quite a long time as well. It'll probably still be up in July if I have anything to say about it. But I love this time of year, so I can't wait for Christmas to get here, but then I'll be super sad that it's already gone. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
and with that, it means that the NFL season, like we said in the very beginning of the show, dude, week 15, what is going on? How
I
is
don't
this
know.
happening?
We're starting the Saturday games, which means the Thursdays and the Mondays are going to stop here soon. Like college is almost over. I think they have the playoff coming up. I know on the smaller scale they still have a couple games left, but yeah, football's winding down, and we're gonna get to playoffs. And
playoffs? Don't talk about
exactly
playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Again, judging by my record last week, that's very true.
Dude, I tell you what, it is getting entertaining in our Pick'em record. What do you call that thing? Our standings are getting quite entertaining, as we will see when we get there here in a little bit. But heck, let's get to the show. One thing I forgot to do that I usually remember to do is ask the folks before we get started to, if they haven't already, if they're new here, minimize that screen. Go hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for all of us who are in the chat right now. Please hit the like button. That helps spread the word out there, spread us in the algorithm. And for anybody who's seeing us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. That helps us out tremendously. And be a friend, tell a friend. Anyway. So yeah, the standings are going to be pretty interesting because things are tightening up. But before we get there, let's go ahead and start with our first segment, which is your segment, our honor roll players of the week from last week. You ready for it?
I'm ready enough. I'm not going to put the flash that Bully has onto it. He is our honor roll champ, but I'll do my best.
All right. Well, it is up and it is yours. Take it.
All right. Well, our first honor roll is the Duct Tape Dynasty faithful. If we could put him as our mascot, by God, we would. But then we'd be the Duct Tape Ravens, and that'd be weird. But it is Lamar Jackson. He went 24 for 43. He had over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He rushed a whole bunch, had a great amount of yards there, and he was just back in normal Lamar Jackson form. He is on a roll yet again. Then, going across the board onto defense this time, we have Jaquan Brisker from the Bears. The Bears. He had 13 solo tackles, 4 assisted tackles, and a forced fumble for Chicago's win. Right? Yeah, they won last week, right? I haven't been paying attention.
I don't know.
In Chicago's performance there, I think they did pretty well. They've started to pick things up, so he is on a roll with that Bears defense. Going down is a familiar face to some. If you were a Ravens fan maybe about 10 years ago when they won the big game, they had this guy as their quarterback, and now he's gunslinging for a division rival. Joe Flacco showing up for his second start with the Cleveland Browns. The Browns. He is 26 of 45, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has coming back on the scene and is on a roll doing it. And then we saw this guy last week. We've seen his teammate a lot before. We got Deebo Samuel. He had 7 receptions, over 100 yards, and 2 scores. He has been on a roll. He even had a rushing touchdown, so he's just adding. And I think he has the most rushing touchdowns by a wide receiver with that last rushing touchdown last week. So he is on a roll as well for San Francisco.
Dude, yes. I think he was our winner last week of the honor roll. So.
I think he was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So some good players there. A lot of our comments right now are talking about how tough of a week we had in the Pick'em, though. Yeah, it was a tough week in the Pick'em. Definitely. But for these guys who were on a roll, they at least had good games out there, which means that there was some good football played, and we like that. So good entertainment to be seen and had and whatnot. So, yes. So thank you. And as you guys can see there, kind of down below, let's see right there, that little that little logo is Andrew's logo. He is our pollster out there on the Instagrams. That is dtd.bigskycountry. That's where all of our polls for sure go. I try to put them up as well, but Andrew is the faithful for our polls, and so we will get to the winner of the honor roll players of the week at the end of the show, as usual. But we get to do our trivia segment now, which I'm excited about. This was a cool one. This one's
going to be fun.
Andrew sent this one to me, and I really liked it. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to bring it on over. This is the grid for the quarterbacks in the NFL who have passed for 5,000 yards in a season. Okay, there's 9 of them. Tom Brady is the free space, if you will. Go figure. I mean, duh, right? Of course, Tom Brady's going to be on there. But the question to all those in the chat land is, who are the other 8 that are out there? So there's plenty of names that can come up. There's one that I will be very surprised if anybody gets. But guys, go ahead and start throwing them in the comments. Who are the other 8 quarterbacks in the NFL who have thrown for 5,000 yards in one season? Yeah, Dobbs sucked it up big time. Only 3 points the whole game. Yeah, that was an
atrocious game, and I'll take the hit on this one because as the resident Vikings fan, as you can see, and no judging by my color being purple, yeah, that was embarrassing to the point where I overlooked how stellar our defense performed, and if we would have had an honorable mention, I would have given that to Ivan Pace Jr., the undrafted free agent rookie. He lit it up for the Vikings defense, but I was so appalled by how poor we were playing. And I was on the Josh Dobbs train. I have since hopped off, and it looks like the Vikings staff has hopped off because he is now the emergency third for the Vikings this Saturday against the Bengals.
So my wife Mary coming in with Brett Favre as the first guest out there.
Favre?
Brett Favre.
Oh, I think I see Breeze actually.
Yeah, Breeze is on there. In fact, I've got so I can see what the answers are. All right, Dave is saying Mahomes is on there. So, okay, here we go. They're rolling in now. Yeah, by the way, up till that Vikings game last week, the most pathetic game was the game that Bully was at last, which was the New England Patriots and the Chargers, and that was a whole 6-0. That was a pathetic game. And then the Vikings, not to be outdone, come out and do a 3-0 game last week, and that was about how our pick'em went as well.
And they still won.
I know, and they won.
They still won.
And the Chargers won with just 6 points as well. I mean, it was just 2 abysmal games, and that's about how our pick'em was as well. We all kind of had a rough week. I think there was 2 of us that were above 500 this week. Yeah. So, but like we've been alluding to, it did bring the standings a lot closer, and it is tightening things up as we get down into crunch time with the season. So, hey, Gil the Goat is out there. He says he can't stay, but he loves us. We love you, brother. I'm glad you're here. We miss your scent as well. Always good for a good comment, Gil, he is. So, okay, here we go. Brett Favre is one of the guesses. Oh, my gosh. Let me see. I got to scroll up. This is good. Breeze.
Wally, you gotta update your football watching, and you got to remember that there was some time between the 70s and now.
Yeah.
Because Bob Greasy, I'll tell you right now, is not on that list.
And neither is Montana or Tarkington. So,
as surprising as it is, as they would have probably been on the list like this if we had the show 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But now,
so
with a whole new game, it's not that way.
Here we go. Here's some. So old Bully has Breeze, Manning, Rodgers, Favre, Marino. That's what he's got. So I will say Breeze. Yep, Breeze is on there. Manning, yes. Rodgers is not on there.
No.
Nor is Brett Favre. But Marino is on there. Dave's got Mahomes. Yep, he's on there. Dave's got Big Ben. Wally with the Bob Greasy. No way. Dave again with Peyton Manning. Yep. Let's see. Who else have we got out there? Okay, so still a few guesses coming in, but there are, let's see.
We'll give a hint to those in the chat. There's one very recent one,
Yes.
and then one that is a couple on there that are kind of unexpected passing. I don't want to say like geniuses, but unexpected picks for 5,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
Both of which have changed teams in their career on those, and then one that was very recent.
Yep. So, okay. Let's see. We'll give it just a couple more seconds and then we'll put it up. So yes, we had Breeze, Manning, Mahomes. Those are all on there. Let's see, who else did we see?
I heard a Marino from Bully.
Yeah, a Marino is on there. You can Google it if you want to, Melba, but I'm about to put the answers up. So here we go. Here comes the answers.
Not Warner. Warner. That was a good guess, though.
Yeah, that was good. A guy who does play for the Rams, though, now is old Matthew Stafford is on there. So across the top, we've got Drew Brees. These are in no particular order, I think. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, yes. Justin Herbert, my boy. He is on there with 5,000 yards in a season. Big Ben is on there as well, which the Steel Curtain, they're a running team. And they've historically always been a running team. So a little bit of a surprise to see him on there. Matt Stafford. But then the big surprise, famous Jameis Winston actually threw for 5,000 yards in a season. That is unreal. I think that's the season that he also threw for
31-31.
Yeah, 31 interceptions.
Yeah, I think that was that. I think that was the same season when he was with Tampa.
Yeah. So, and I should have put a Tampa uniform on there, but whatever. And then Dan Marino, the oldest one, which I guess he was a passer back when, it
was starting to turn around. It was starting to be a turnaround. He was definitely the gunslinger that inspired everyone else on this list.
Oh,
but he was the start of that.
Wait. Wally says, "Who the hell is that? Who's who?"
Are you talking about the new kid, Wally, because it's so new, or are you talking about Jameis Winston?
Anyway, Jameis Winston. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he threw for 5,000 in a season. But and then laces out, Dan. Laces out. Yes,
laces out.
And speaking of the Dolphins, I actually have some housekeeping to take care of. I put up this question to, I think Bully was on last week, and the question I just phrased it wrong. It said, "What team did the Dolphins beat to remain the only undefeated team?" The answer given was the Redskins. Now that is correct. That is who they beat in the Super Bowl to go undefeated. Right. And I said that was incorrect. That's because, like I said, I asked the question incorrectly. What I meant is after the Dolphins had already gone undefeated and they were the only undefeated team, they ended up beating a team who was undefeated until they played the Dolphins. And so basically the Dolphins ruined this other team's chance at becoming the other undefeated team in the NFL. And that team was the 1985 Chicago Bears. So a little housekeeping there. I had to correct that. So sorry about that.
Even though the Bears did go on to win the Super Bowl that year. And
yeah.
And then the Dolphins, because their undefeated season was 1972.
Yep.
Or 70. Yeah, 72.
72. Well, yeah, did they win it in 73? Was that when the Super Bowl was?
I think, but it was a 14-week season. So technically, if you want to make an argument that the Patriots would have surpassed that when they had their 18-1 run, yes. But they're talking beginning of the season to the big one. And the Patriots, as we know, and Cole probably loves to talk about, lost the big one.
Yes, and Bully does not like to talk about. So, because that's although, by the way, did you see the new Tom Brady commercial for his baseball card?
I don't think I have.
I'm going to have to send that out. That was great. They did a what if. It's basically what if Tom Brady had gone to the MLB, and they did a commercial, and it's hilarious. They talk about, Tom Brady. Oh, drafted by the Expos. They talk about him winning 7 championships and all this, and then they say, yeah, but then he lost twice to the Giants, meaning San Francisco Giants. But yeah, anyway, you got to see it. It was great. So I'll have to see if I can find that and send it out to the group. But anyway, I did want to correct that, since Bully actually gave the correct answer, but I just asked the question wrong regarding the Dolphins last week. And then one other thing, Dave is in the chat as well. We were supposed to do this week. We just never got to scheduling it. I guess there is still a day left this week, so maybe I can still get it scheduled. We'll have to see what Dave is doing. But good old Kai Stewart went out there and defended his championship belt in BKFC Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Over the shoulder here on the door back there is the poster from Kai's first championship bout, signed to Duct Tape Dynasty. He came on and we had a show with him. He's coming back on the program. And we're going to talk about his defense of his championship belt. Going to be awesome. He beat a dude that had a 7-inch reach advantage on him. 7 inches, dude. And I mean, he pummeled the guy. He absolutely pummeled him. It was awesome. Dave and I were both pretty nervous about it, I'll admit. But anyway, so yeah, a little advertisement there that we have a show coming up. Was supposed to be this week, and like I said, just kind of didn't get it scheduled. Still a chance we could do it, but Kai Stewart will be on the show. Not necessarily a football show. We'll just have a Kai Stewart show and bring him back on. He was electric last time. It was a good time. So it'll be cool to have him back on. Yeah. So with that, what the heck? Let's get to the football. Let's talk about the week that was, huh?
Do we have to?
I think we do. We have to.
Damn.
David, of course, throwing an inappropriate comment out there about 7 inches. All right, on to the football. So the week 14 results, there they are. You see the wins and losses. Bo and Wally were the only ones that managed to go over 500. They went 8-7. I went 7-9. Then you came in at what?
I don't even know.
6-9, or I went 7-8. You went 6-9, and then we had 5-10s, and then Bully went 4-11. That was a rough week. Sorry, I can't see very good right now. Yeah, Bully had a bad week. I had an okay week, which actually did something pretty cool for the standings. So let's go to the old stand. Well, no. Okay, let's talk about the games real quick.
Let's do game week in review.
Week in review. So we all took Pittsburgh against New England, and go figure, New England pulls it out, man. What?
I said, half of our picks I feel like are reactionary. We have New England lose abysmally to the Chargers 6-0. We're like, oh my God, this is stupid. And then we all pick against them because we're like, yeah, there's no way they can be that, they can't stink that bad 2 weeks in a row. And, all the paisanos over in Pittsburgh are now, they're pretty bummed out. I don't know if you saw that piece on McAfee, but they're pretty bummed out.
Yeah, man, I tell you what. Gil comment, got to read this. Used to bake a mean pecan pie.
Leaves, they ain't been the same since.
God, Gil. See, this is why we need Gil in there.
I don't know if the universe could handle Gil and Dave in the same room.
Oh, it would be. Oh man, maybe that's a show we should have in the off season. So, yeah. The wifage coming over the top rope there. I love it. I'm glad she's active in the chat and providing entertainment for the rest of us. So, wow. Great chat tonight. I love it. This is good. This is good. By the way, there's only 2 likes, and I think that was me and Andrew. So for those who are watching, minimize the screen, hit that like button. Let's see those likes go up so other people can enjoy our electric chat tonight. Okay. Tampa Bay, I was the only one that picked them to beat Atlanta, and they managed to do it.
Good on you.
Yeah. Baltimore gets it done. Chicago beats Detroit. What the heck, man?
It almost happened twice. It was last second the first time it didn't happen. So I don't know why we didn't look at this more seriously, especially since wasn't it in Soldier Field or at Soldier Field?
Yeah, it was in Chicago.
Yeah, why? I don't know why we didn't give them enough credit. Granted,
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Yeah, that's what Detroit was
we
saying.
did. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so Chicago gets it done. We all, well, we didn't all think that Indy was going to get it done, but the majority of us did because of the fact that Joe Burr goes down. And then, sure enough, since he's back up. By the way, speaking of backup quarterbacks, I heard, and this was on the McAfee show, 55 starting quarterbacks in the NFL so far this season.
Oh, good Lord. We're only 15 weeks in.
I know. We haven't even got to the playoffs. I mean, 55, bro. That is unreal. That is unreal. And who knows Jimmy G got benched for the Raiders. So they got that other kid in. Anyway, okay. Cleveland gets it done versus Jacksonville. New Orleans beats Carolina. No surprise there. But then the New York Jets and Zach Wilson coming back. What?
Whip the Houston Texans.
Yes. And speaking of quarterbacks going down.
Scoreless. It was almost scoreless for the whole game. And then the Jets were like, nah, second half.
Yeah.
Good God. But yes, you were saying speaking of quarterbacks.
And then CJ Stroud, who now goes down massive concussion. I mean, that looked nasty.
Oh,
man.
yeah. It looked like it hurt.
Yeah, that was a Tua concussion. That's what that was. That was a bad one.
Oh, good God.
So,
at least they had sense enough to take him out of the damn game.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez. And then Minnesota manages to get it done versus Vegas. Most of us picked Minnesota, although Bully did not, and his record reflects it. So San Francisco gets it done versus Seattle. Buffalo beats Kansas City. What is Buffalo?
Bo was the one out on a limb. Dang it.
I
love you, Bo, but it drives me nuts when you go out on a limb and you're right.
I know. We cannot. Bo comes out of nowhere. They pull. We've heard it before. They pull the rope-a-dope for us for this. Apparently, we're still playing fantasy football, or some people are. And his sister goes and drafts and beats everybody in fantasy football. Bo shows up out of nowhere and is beating all of us in this pick'em thing. New guy in town. It's like, what the crap is going on? And then speaking of his wins, his Denver Broncos, who are stinking it up, they go out and beat my Chargers. And back to the quarterback conversation, Justin Herbert now out for the rest of the year. Jeez. Dallas gets it done versus Philly. Tennessee beats Miami. We all picked Miami. And then the Giants beat Green Bay.
And we all picked Green Bay.
Yeah, it was like the two games, we had not so great records going into those final two games.
Didn't help us.
I know. And it was like, all right, well, cool. Let's, in fact, I even sent a text about it. I was like, oh, all right, well, let's get, a couple wins here and help everybody's average out. Well, we got 2 more losses. So,
well, I looked at it just now and there's 5 100% unanimous games that we all took the L on because we all picked the other team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if somebody would have taken, if Bo would have been even more risky and took one more shot and took those other ones, he could have killed us this week.
Jeez.
But all 5 of us have 5 losses guaranteed because of that.
Yeah. Had I not picked Tampa Bay, we would have had another one because Tampa Bay won. Yeah. We would have all picked Atlanta. But
if Bo would have picked KC, if Bully would, never mind. We would have gotten the Minnesota one right anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nuts.
Man, yeah, what a week. And we've had a couple of those weeks now where it was just like, what in the crap is going on? So let's now look at what our standings were. Okay, this was going into the week. Now, I should have, well, okay, I'm not going to. But this is what the standings looked like, the line graph going into the week. And this is the new standings. This is interesting now because as you see scrolling by down there, we've got the Lean, Cole, Dave, and Wally all at 129 and whatever it is, all tied now. Bo has the lead by himself. Then we've got you, and now Bully with his tank of a week last week and my less of a tank. Now Bully and I are tied. So even that last place slot that I've been hanging on to all year long is now in jeopardy, I guess, of being given to somebody else. Who knows what's going to happen, right? So it's, man, it is, things are tightening up, man. This is good. This is good. This is what we want, though. We want competition all the way down. So at least you're not in last, but you sure are far from first.
I'm about 3% from first, and I'm 4% away from last.
Yeah.
So I think I'm sitting half comfortably, just not in the middle, but in the middle.
Yeah, you're
and I have all year. I have been comfortably just resting in the middle all year.
Yeah. As we see, your pink line there has been definitely right in the middle there as we've gone along. I have consistently been at the bottom, and I'm really hoping I can come off that bottom because, like I said, I want to get rid of this trophy. This has been in the house way too long. So I want to send that sucker to Bully or to you so you can keep your pink slot there because next year the last place will assume the pink color for the year. I don't want it. But anyway.
Well, my school colors are green, so I'll take the green from you.
Yeah. Well, man alive. Yeah. I just hope I can. Yeah, we get it. But I like it. Things are getting tight and God. The standings are tightening up. There we go. How about that?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's move on to this week then, shall we?
Yes, please.
Let's hope that we have a better week this week. The standings, there they are, updated across the top percentage-wise. Here are the games that are coming up tonight as we see over the shoulder, the Chargers and the Raiders. We all went for the Raiders. Who knows, man? This is the battle of the
backup QBs. Who is your backup quarterback?
The Sticks or something like that. Some Stick, some kid named Stick or something. Easton Stick. There you go.
Okay. Yep.
I wonder if they thought he was going to be a baseball player. Easton Stick. Anyway.
You should get him on your fantasy team and rename your fantasy team to Stick It To Him because you might as well.
Who knows? If he does something good, maybe I will. I haven't looked at that fantasy stuff in quite a while.
The cocaine Ewoks are not doing good. I'll say you that much.
I haven't even updated that thing in weeks, man. So, wow. Still only at 2 likes, guys. Please hit the like button for the love of God. It helps get the algorithm thing out there. So go hit that like button. So anyway, we all picked Vegas, but really this is anybody's game. Who knows what's going to happen in it? Both teams are terrible. The Chargers are a dumpster fire. The only thing I'm looking forward to now is the firing of Brandon Staley. I want it to happen mid-season. I've wanted it to happen seasons ago.
Not going to happen until the end if it does at all.
Yeah, the Chargers do not really do mid-season firings. I just hope to God they actually execute the firing of him. No, get rid of the dude, man. Come on. So he's done enough damage, and I've said it a million times, he's wasting Justin Herbert's career. We've got a heck of a team out there.
You do.
We've got a terrible coach. So, yeah. So we all pick Vegas. Like I said, I'll be happy either way. If the Chargers win, it's a Chargers win. So I'm excited about that. But I picked Vegas. So if Vegas wins, hey, I'm starting off 1-0. I'll take it. The very next game, though, is Minnesota-Cincy. Most of us went for Cincy. Yeah.
Myself included.
Yes. So as you were saying, the Dobbs, the Pastronaut is now the emergency 3. That Cinderella story seems to be coming to an end. There's another Cinderella story we'll talk about here in a little while.
And I picked Cincinnati over my Minnesota Vikings as much as it hurt me because we don't know what we're doing at quarterback right now. Justin Jefferson got thumped again. And he should be back this week. They said nothing major happened, so that's a plus. But, I'm just taking Cincy at home. They're going to ride this high with Jake Browning, former Viking, by the way. And I just, I think Minnesota, I would love it if they won. It would help us out towards an NFC North title. But in reality, I just think I'm more confident in Cincinnati right now because of what they had last week.
Yeah, they definitely look more solid, and they're in Cincy. And I tell you what, Cincinnati, it feels like has a decent home field advantage. Their crowd is a pretty
ever
cool
since
crowd.
They got Burrow.
Oh yeah. So although their coach this week was kind of making a call for action with the crowd, which is definitely different.
That was interesting.
I don't know what that was about. He was kind of begging for, kind of like how I'm begging for people to hit the stupid like button and nobody's doing it. He was begging his fans to come out and cheer for his team. So anyway, but yeah, I think Cincy definitely has got the better shot of winning. I mean, the Vikings, they both have the same record. They're both 7-6. So
the Vikings have the 6th seed in the NFC, so they're in the playoffs right now, and all they need is to win 2 games of the next 4, and they take the title. I'm ignoring the chat right now just because Dave is Dave. Holy hell.
Gil's got to go mow the lawn in the middle of the night.
Don't forget a headlamp.
Hey, Gil, thanks for sticking around, though, man. I tell you what, you are the absolute best. I love seeing Gil the
you're
Goat
getting
in there.
full first name here, pal.
I know. I'm getting hate. Well, the stupid YouTube thing is not updating. It shows 2 likes. So, whatever. I blame YouTube. So, yeah, that's that. Cincinnati. I think Cincy should win. Dave went with Minnesota, so did Bully. So now Bully, when he made his picks, I was watching. He was doing it on TikTok Live. He says his cheat code is his followers on TikTok. So they were helping him out. I'm not sure why they came up with Minnesota, but we'll see. Right?
Well, hopefully they didn't pick last week for him. We love you, Bully, but hopefully they didn't lead you astray.
Man, I tell you what. So Pittsburgh, Indy, we all went Indy. That should be a win. I mean, it just seems like Indy is a much better team than Pittsburgh right now. And by the way, sorry, I meant to ask, how many plays was Justin Jefferson even in for when he came back?
I honestly don't know. I know he was in. He made the catch on the one that knocked him out with a chest injury. But as far as number of plays, I don't know. And
it was not many.
It scares me. It scares me seeing him get hit like that now that he's coming back from a hamstring. And yeah, it makes me nervous.
Yeah, it's with their record, it's tough because they've got something to play for, but yet you look at the team and it seems to be in shambles because we all know Kirk Cochains went down with the 33rd Achilles of the season or whatever it was. And,
right.
Then you had the Pastronaut. Well, that Cinderella story's over. And so it's like, what is Minnesota? What chances do they honestly
We're defense
have?
this year. We are defense. Brian Flores was a godsend. I hope we pay the man so we can keep him and people don't snipe him somewhere else because we needed a defense. And boy, howdy, do we have it again.
Yeah, well, I just don't know if Minnesota has anything that they can do this year. With who else is in the NFL, I just don't see them making a run. And so I hate to see it's times like that I get nervous when I see a Justin Jefferson come back and it's like, well, why? And then you see him 2 plays in or whatever it was, get absolutely hammered. And so if he comes back this week again, it's like, well, what for? I just don't see Minnesota making a run. So, yeah, but whatever. They still got something to play for, so I guess you got to put him out there. Pittsburgh, Indy, like I said, Indy should win that game handily. Pittsburgh, another team that I think Kenny Pickett went down for season-ending surgery as well, isn't he? I think he's out for the season.
I think so. It's Trubisky now. So
old MVP Mitch. So, and boy,
good Lord.
that guy was throwing it like Uncle Rico or something at the end of the game last week. So, needed 2 yards, threw it 102. So, like I said, Indy should win that one. The Detroit-Denver game. There's two people that picked Denver, and it's a couple of Vikings fans. It's yourself and old Wally out there. Why? Why did you pick Denver?
I picked Denver, and I didn't pick Detroit because the last few weeks, Detroit's been slipping. They've been letting a lot of close games get to them. Games you think they should win, no problem. Green Bay on Thanksgiving. You think they should have whipped them pretty handily, and they didn't. Chicago last week, they lost to Chicago. And Chicago almost beat them the first time, too. So I think Detroit's starting to show the cracks in their armor, and they're not perfect. And I think Sean Payton and Russell Wilson have finally reached an understanding, and they finally slapped Cortland Sutton in the face and said, wake up, catch some balls. And they've been doing it. Denver's defense has went from worst to waking up and playing aggressive, especially Alex Singleton and their middle linebacker. He's been going nuts. You can tell he plays just pissed off. At least that's what it looks like to me. He got in a shoving match with C.J. Stroud like a couple weeks ago. So I think Denver's on a rise, and I think Detroit's slipping a little bit.
But
Are they out of it? No, they're not out of it. But I think Denver is going to take the edge here.
Bo didn't pick them, though. And that's our litmus test for the Broncos, it seems like. If Bo picks them, they seem to win. He didn't pick them, though, this week. So
I'm still pretty confident that Denver will do well. I have to be for my sake of picks here.
Yeah. So the next game, though, Atlanta, Carolina. Carolina, another quarterback that's gone. Isn't their guy injured as well? Anyway.
I didn't think Bryce Young was gone, but maybe he is.
Yeah, maybe he's the one that's left in the NFL. But Atlanta, this is honestly, I'm going to call this a gotcha game, though. We all picked Atlanta, and it's like Carolina's got to win a couple games here and there. This could be one of those. It could be. It's in Carolina. I mean, you just never know. You never know. So, obviously, I hope Atlanta wins because we all picked them, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Why? Do you have a whole bunch of confidence in that game, or?
It could be a gotcha game. I just think Atlanta's the better team. They have been playing more consistent, and I think Carolina, they're just kind of playing not to completely die out this season.
Is Carolina the worst team in football right now?
They are. Yeah. They are in the power rankings. They're 32. I think record-wise, they're the worst, or at least tied for the worst.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're not doing so hot this year. So I think Atlanta's just a better built team. Even though the NFC South just is a subpar division and has been for the last few years, which is nuts considering 5-10 years ago they were all-stars at quarterback for each of those teams, and they were awesome, and now they have flipped that coin 180.
Yeah. And what's hilarious about it, if they do get that number one pick, they don't get the number one pick because they give it to Chicago. And
I don't even think they get the number two. I think they're stuck until like round 2 with Carolina because of that pick for Bryce Young.
Yep. And so actually Chicago will get their number one pick, and Wally is the only one who picked Chicago versus Cleveland in the Joe Flacco Cinderella story. Now, I will say Wally...
He might be onto something. You never know.
Because Cleveland is banged up, dude. Yes, they've got Joe Flacco, and Flacco was one of our nominees for the honor roll, but a lot of dudes are down for Cleveland right now. So watch out. Chicago might come in and win that game. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, I think that one's a toss-up, honestly.
I picked Green Bay, and I don't really remember why. I think I just flipped a coin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly.
That was me as well. I think Godwin might be out or something like that, and that's why I went with Green Bay. But, yeah, that's a coin flip as well. Oh, no. Excuse me.
While you're yawning, we'll move on to the next one. I think this is our other gotcha game, kind of like the one above it. That was a unanimous Atlanta. I think this could be a gotcha game too because of what Zach Wilson did last week. Granted, is he going to ride the high for very long? We don't know. Is Miami showing cracks in their armor? A little bit. Yeah. But I think this could be a gotcha game too if Zach Wilson turned out that he went and, drank the ayahuasca waters from Aaron Rodgers and learned all and came back and was an all-star, who he could have also been an honor roll nominee if we would have thought about it. But I think Miami will still edge it out because I think overall Miami's still the better team.
Oh, I think Miami's definitely the better team. But actually, in speaking of players of the week, Zach Wilson and the next one, which we kind of foreshadowed earlier, Houston, New York, Tommy DeVito, the Italian.
New Orleans, New York. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like yourself and
Cole.
And Cole went with New York.
He picked the homer pick.
Yep. I don't know. I think the Tommy DeVito train, the Cinderella story comes to an end this week. I
don't think so, because I think Tommy DeVito's still strong enough to keep him going. I think the main issue with this game is New Orleans. They bring in Derek Carr for a half. He plays like just dog water. They boo him off the field. They bring in Showtime Jameis Winston, and he does really well. But there's no way that's sustainable. They can't keep doing that.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So I think New York is just going to keep riding the momentum of DeVito, and I think they're going to be fine.
We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, I obviously went with New Orleans. Only yourself and Cole going with the DeVito train. That is fun to watch, though. He's the Josh Dobbs right now. He's riding that Pasternaut train for right now. It's just a matter of time.
Have you seen what his agent looks like?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. Straight out of the mob, Al Capone looking dude. I'm surprised that's not like an actor and the NFL is just trying to prank us right now.
I tell you what, it might be, man. I don't. The whole thing is just hilarious. The whole thing is hilarious. I love it. Yeah. His agent. The only thing that would have made it better is if he actually had like a flip phone out there instead of an iPhone.
Yes.
Yes. With that outfit, if he had a flip phone, come on, man. But yeah, hey, I hope he keeps going because it's been fun to watch.
It has been.
Yeah, and then Houston. Golly, why am I yawning?
Houston, Tennessee. This one, I had Houston circled, and then I instantly scratched it because I remembered C.J. Stroud got hurt.
And
this is the Houston Oilers game where Tennessee Titans are going to walk out and say, "Hey, Houston, remember these? These are ours now."
Yep.
Houston's going to be like, I think without C.J. Stroud, they're going to lose.
I think, well, yeah, we all think that they're going to lose. Houston's going to lose. It's hard to say because the Tennessee Titans are wearing the old Houston Oilers uniforms. That's what Andrew's talking about. One of the greatest uniforms, I think, out there. And we circled this early in the year when we did our uniform review show.
With our good buddy Sergio.
Yeah, with old Sergio, because of the fact that, yes, a few games that Tennessee is going to wear that Houston Oilers game or uniform, and one of them is this game against the Houston Texans. So
that's such a petty move, though. It's either going to be the smartest move ever or the stupidest move ever, because they're either going to go out and put on a show and just rub dirt in a wound. Because honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I think Houston Texans should have those uniforms because they're still in Houston.
I think so too. It's Houston Oilers.
But Tennessee, they're either going to put on a show and be like, "Nah, these are ours, and we're going to keep them," or they're just going to be like, "Well, that was stupid. We should give these back because we played so poorly."
We'll see, man. That is a potential gotcha game. Golly, what happened? Why am I just yawning all of a sudden? I guess you're boring.
No. I must be, I'm not as entertaining as this chat right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah, the chat is absolutely on fire, and I love to see it. This is good stuff out there. Yeah, I might need an espresso in here. So, anyway, but yeah, I just think, man, Tennessee, if I was ever wearing those uniforms, those Houston Oilers uniforms, I would feel invincible. And so I think they're invincible with that uniform. And then, of course, C.J. Stroud, the concussion. It seems like an obvious win for Tennessee. Kansas City, New England. Bully will be at this game. And we all pick Kansas City, and I think that's kind of an obvious one. As we were talking about until last week, the worst game of the year was the New England Charger game, which Bully was at, the last game Bully was at, and New England put up a 0 on that one.
Let's just hope Kadarius Toney doesn't line up offsides and Patrick Mahomes doesn't get pissed off at refs again. Pissed off for the right call.
Yeah, I mean, that was so stupid. How did he line up that way? I mean, the whole thing. Yeah.
And see, the thing that I thought was stupid, and I think it was covered on New Heights. A shout out to them. It's a great show. Obviously, because Travis Kelce is on the Chiefs, they talked about it, and they mentioned that Peyton Manning, he had a comment saying, well, if it's going to blow the play dead like that, don't even show what's going to happen. Blow it dead right away. Treat it like a false start. And have an offensive offsides be like that. Yeah. Because that play was clean. It was awesome.
So sweet of a play.
Except for the flag thrown right before the snap. And honestly, I think as much as I get being just fired up by games, I understand having the passion for it, but I think Mahomes, and he did realize it the next day in hindsight, and he came back and apologized, but you got to show some professionalism with that, and you can't go around trying to, I don't know if he was trying to hit the refs or if he was just calling them out, doing the whole thing, and they had to hold him back. But it's that did not look good.
No,
that didn't look good at all.
He's
which
usually
I understand being
fired
up. I understand being fired up, but still.
Yeah, it wasn't
even
the
with
best.
all of that said, KC I think is still going to walk away with this one.
Absolutely. As well as that next game, it should be an easy win for San Francisco against Arizona. Brock Purdy.
San Francisco is the best team in the league right now. Bar none, I'm saying it. They're the best team in the league.
You got Brock Purdy, you got Christian McCaffrey, you got George Kittle, you got Bosa,
Deebo Samuel, you got Ayuk, you've got Fred Warner.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous how much talent is around that team right now. I hope they can do something with it. So yeah, that should be an easy win. Definitely, I would say not a gotcha game. Now watch. Anyway, Washington, LA Rams. The Rams should win that one, but who knows what Washington's going to do. It's the next game that I wonder about. The Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills. Only one of us picked the Buffalo Bills. It is in Buffalo. The one person who picked the Bills is Bully. What do you think? Dallas has been rolling, but I've just been waiting for it. And I even said it last week. Dallas tends to crap down their leg at random times.
Right. They do. And, I think Dallas marching into Orchard Park, they could do well. They have a solid defense. They made the Eagles look silly, and it was bad. Yeah. Winning by 20 on the Eagles. And, I've never had any animosity really towards the Cowboys. I've never had a big issue with them. I play up the stereotypes of saying, oh, yeah, there's always a Cowboys fan somewhere and just making fun. But, they're rolling right now. And granted, Josh Allen looked like a superhero last week. The Buffalo team did really well. But they were also playing KC. I think they rose to the occasion, and they always have weird games with those two. But I think Dallas is going to figure it out, and I think they're going to shut down some stuff with Buffalo because I didn't watch the game last week, but they really only have one weapon for Josh Allen besides himself.
Yeah.
So I think Dallas is going to take advantage of that, and I think it might be close, but I think Dallas is going to put a hurt on them, and I think they're going to walk out of Orchard Park with that win.
Yeah, unfortunately for Dallas, I think the time where they're going to crap down their leg is coming in the playoffs.
Which is usual. I think they're going to do real hot, maybe drop one game in these next 4, not counting this week. And then, it's going to come playoff time. They're going to be within 2 minutes. They're going to be down by 4, and they're going to do something stupid like put the running back at center or not realize the ref has to touch the ball and run up the middle when it's a Hail Mary throw. they're going to do something stupid to get in their own head, and that's playoff time Mike McCarthy. I think regular season, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely rolling. They are a hot team out there. It's just a matter of time. I mean, Dallas is always, it just seems like ever since the 90s, they've been a ticking time bomb every time they start doing good. So, and then 2 games left to talk about. One of them, Baltimore, Jacksonville. The only thing that scares me about that is the fact that Bo picked Jacksonville. You know, we've got our boy Lamar who's out there, and Baltimore is rolling. And I'd almost say a little bit under the radar they're rolling, although not really under the radar, but still.
I think they're the team to beat in the AFC, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah,
I think if Baltimore, Kansas City faced off, I'd pick Baltimore right now.
Yeah, you never. Yeah, boy, Baltimore is doing well. They're doing well. Like I said, the only thing that concerns me is the fact that Bo picked Jacksonville. So who knows? It is in Jacksonville, but Baltimore should take care of business. And then Philly, Seattle. Philly, I think, is going to have some revenge. Granted, it's not because of anything Seattle did, but because of the way that they got spanked by Dallas last week. And they've got a Monday night primetime game. So Philly, you see any chance of Seattle beating them? Not injuries aside, all that stuff,
If it's Drew Lock for Seattle, I don't think there's any chance. If there's Geno, there might have been something. I don't really know what the quarterback situation looks like in Seattle right now. But I think Philly, they're going to come back, chip on their shoulder. Nick Sirianni's going to be fired up as their head coach. I think they're going to come back and be like, Dallas punched us in the mouth. Well, we're going to go out and we're going to punch everybody else.
Yeah.
Because we can't face Dallas anymore. So I think Philly's going to do pretty well in this last stretch of the season, especially when they have some big division games coming up. But I think they're going to leave Seattle just walking home from Lumen Field pretty sad.
Yeah.
So
they should. I mean, Sirianni, well, yeah, whatever.
We all know what he yelled at the Chiefs fans when they beat them in Kansas City. So we'll see if that happens in Seattle.
Sirianni has definitely got some passion. He has always been one that is weird with words, in that in many ways. But yeah, he definitely has passion. And so I think he'll have the boys fired up. And even if he wasn't able to get the boys fired up, I think Jalen Hurts is a leader on that team. And then, of course, you got Kelsey, who's the absolute man. I mean, he's
awesome.
If it wasn't for guys like Purdy and Herbert and, some of my boys and of course, Lamar, I'd say Jason Kelsey's my favorite player in the NFL. He's such a cool dude. So, anyway, and that's a center, that's, you don't see that, but he is awesome. So I think, definitely Philly will be rolling on that game, and that should just be a spanking on Monday night. So, and with that, there's one thing left to do, and that is to announce our winner of our honor roll poll. So, but before I give that over to you, do you have anything else you want to cover with these games before we announce our honor roll winner?
Not that I can think of for these games, and I'm sure as soon as this ends and this show is over, I'm going to think of 1,000 things, but I think we're getting into crunch time. We're getting into that last home stretch of the season. We're into that last quarter. I think we're going to be in for some really fun football. And I think we're going to have some really fun things coming up towards the playoffs, both in real football and with this show. I think there's some really cool stuff coming down the pipe. So I think we just need to stay tuned. But I don't have anything else for these games. Do you have anything else before we announce our honor roll for week
I do
14?
want to say, not about the games themselves, but about the chat tonight. You guys have been absolute fire. This is the second time that these comments have been like this. And I tell you what, it's a lot of fun when it's like this. I love seeing the comments just absolutely rolling. And I see old Bully just blowing it up right now. Bully, you're the absolute best, brother. I was watching Bully on TikTok live before the show got started. Bully he's fired up right now, man. And that boy is some. I know you don't have TikTok. You're in Montana, whatever.
I don't think it's banned. I just don't want it. Like, I just think
Bully
I'm okay
provides
without it.
quite a bit of entertainment out there on the old TikToks, man. I enjoy hopping on his live and watching him. So hopefully he'll be live later on during the game. If he's still awake, I'll be watching you, Bully. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you to announce this week's On a Roll Player of the Week. It is yours. Go.
Yes. Also, do we have a drum roll button yet? I feel like we need to get
We
one.
don't. I have an applause
Anyway,
one. I'll get one.
Going off of the poll, I know you threw up a poll, and I'm pretty sure you found your results pretty quick. Mine was actually very, very close between two of our four, and it was between Lamar Jackson and Deebo Samuel. So, did Deebo come in and get 2 weeks in a row? No, he did not. Our honor roll for this week is Lamar Jackson, the Duct Tape Dynasty faithful. We are excited to have him. Loves our stuff, sees our stuff. We love you, Lamar. So keep it up, stay on a roll, and I think we'll see the Ravens in Vegas come February.
Oh, I love that call. That's a good one. Yes, Lamar Jackson. He has been our honor roll player of the week before. He does it again this week. Well deserved. Well deserved. Always good to see old Lamar out there. Lamar getting a lot of comments out there in comment land. And brother, we're going to throw it out there on the Instagrams, and hopefully you see it. Congratulations. Well done. Always a pleasure watching you play because, man, he's an exciting player.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, the kid is good, man. So with that, that is the show, ladies and gentlemen, and that puts us right into football time. I think the game's already started, but like I said, it's the battle of the backups, so whatever. NFL Mike is at the game, by the way, but
we need to get a hold of him at some point again, try and get a comparison, end of the season, do a pick'em comparison, because I think over half of our team is doing better than he is.
Yes.
And we can clip that and send it to him, but I think we are doing better than he is. Right?
I think so as well. Definitely not me, but a lot of our guys are. So anyway, shoot, man. All right, well, let's get the heck out of here. Let's go watch some football. Again, thanks to everybody out there in chat land and everybody watching. We absolutely love you. You guys are the best. Yeah, let's get the heck out of here and watch some football, all right?
Let's do it.
All right, brother. We will see you next time. See y'all, everybody. Y'all are the best. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.